Hey guys, this is Sparky here. Welcome to Torchlight 2. I'll be giving you a rundown on what I think of the game, and I will compare it a little bit to Diablo. I mean, both games are excellent in their own respective way. The thing is with either game is that they have both pros and they both have cons. Torchlight does something better than Diablo, and Diablo does some things better than Torchlight. So currently, you're probably thinking, where the hell am I? I'm currently in what we call map works. Once you complete the game, you get an offer to either go for the map works or play it again on a harder difficulty. Now, Diablo doesn't have map works. They just simply throw you into a more deeper end, harder difficulty, and you can really feel it. It's difficult, alright. In Torchlight, if I wanted, I go for map works, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I go to this little dude here. Simply pick a level, I don't know, that one, just because I want to. I go to map selector and I play the level. Just wait for the loading screen here. Okay, so Diablo doesn't have that. Also, I find the loading screens are much faster than Diablo. One good thing in Diablo, however, they have a barbarian. And in Torchlight we have a berserker. Now they are meant to be roughly the same thing, but yet slightly different. A bit like a dog and a wolf. One thing I was disappointed in Torchlight was it's the berserker. It's just normal person really, just angry and full of rage. Nothing stands out about him at all. If you play as a barbarian in Diablo, he's huge. He's twice the size of this character, and you can feel it, man. When he pounds enemies in, you can feel that. You're like, oh, you don't half go, oh, I just smashed his head in. So, one thing in Diablo is that smashing people to pieces is rather satisfying, and you can feel the crunch of the bones. Torchlight doesn't have this. However, I find Torchlight just so much more fun. The loot, for example, let's have a look. Yeah, the loot, there's a lot of it. A lot of loot. In Diablo, I find that it lacks loot. I played as a barbarian, so equivalent to this berserker here. So I can compare the two in two different games. He just lacked loot. I went for the whole game several times in several different difficulties, lacking loot to keep me going, to keep me alive. In this, you just find so much, you feel overpowered occasionally. The monsters will always be a little bit more level than you are. I mean, these are actually lower level than I am. That's because it's I've chosen it that way. I selected the map. But yeah, you know, they're usually higher level than you, and yet you can still come out feeling, wow, I'm so much stronger than them. You know, this is something that I did not feel in Diablo 3. In Diablo 3, I just felt, you know, I'm struggling and I'm dying here, and I need to run away a lot more. And it's not good if I need to be a melee guy. Ooh, scroll. That's another cool thing about Diablo. You have destructible objects, and what I mean by that is I don't just mean pots of jars in Torchlight 2. I mean, like, you can smash down a wall and it will crumble and hit the enemy if you're tactical about these things. Something Torchlight doesn't have at all. But one thing Diablo has, another thing, sorry, is that its graphics are great, whereas in Torchlight, the graphics are also great, but they're cartoony. You know, the cartoony. I like the cartoony look. It's really cool. It's really colourful. Brings out the colours in my graphic card. I think that's fantastic. I saw Diablo on a friend's computer, and he was using an LG monitor. Oh my god, did it look good! On my monitor, not so good. It looked more realistic, but in a bad way. Now, in terms of fun, I would say this has a lot more fun. It's just so much more energetic, there's a lot more going on. Also, my computer handles it much better than Diablo. Diablo has a nice title screen, you can see your character up in the front there, and it's got like a different background. This is something Torchlight does not have. It has a random background you just don't care about. But, on the other hand, Torchlight, it has hidden areas, secret places, secret rooms. And they're not obvious. Sometimes they're in your face and you don't even realise it. You know, I mean, really right up in your face. And I mean, I've played this game twice now, and oh, ran out of mana. Let's get out of here. Got a bit stuck there. I played this game twice, and I can honestly say, you know, I've seen these secrets, secret areas, and I'm like, oh my god, why didn't I see that before? Sort of thing. The difference between this and Diablo is that this has 3 acts, you know, 3 chapters, if you will. Diablo has 4 or 5, I can't quite remember, and it generally is really long. But what I like about Torchlight is that it's not that long of a game. In fact, it's good like that. It's good that it's only got 3 acts, because the 3rd act is quite long in itself and makes up for the other 2 acts. But it will always be looked at as 3 acts. So I think it's good, because if you're playing on a harder difficulty, you might, you know, you don't want to go through the whole story and do all over again. You know, you know it, you've heard it all before, you've done it 1,000 times. You just want to smash from A to B. You know, you want to get from start to finish and rank up your characters for whatever achievements you might have. And you know, that's cool and everything. Whereas in this, you only have 3 acts, right? So you can get from start to finish, and you know, you can just essentially rush it through. Doesn't matter. The cool thing about Torchlight is every map is randomly generated, and as for your weapons, if you pick up the same one, it will slightly look different, and it will certainly have different properties. I mean, here's something. This is a legendary item. I can't say it shined too much on the floor when I picked it up. I almost walked away from it. This is a legendary item. It's really good, and it's my first one, and it's my only one. In Diablo 3, I didn't find anything that was worth of any value. I really struggled. You have to. The game sort of forces you to use a market in place. We've got this like market, or this online market. You can put weapons up for sale, which is great. I sold a few things. Nothing too great though, because I did find a lot of stuff. And a lot of the time, you have to buy them. I rather find them and get lucky, and you know, stuff like that. I spent half of my time trying to find magic finding attribute sort of gems and things to pull on my Diablo character, and I had more, you know, money finding, treasure finding attributes to my character than my friends, and yet they would find them better stuff than me. They were just finding better stuff than me. They had more money than me. I was thinking, what's going on? I completely done my character build wrong. Although it's difficult to do that in Diablo 3, where it's so easy to do that here in Torchlight. If you was to say, what's the best character build in Torchlight, you know, what's the best character? Most people will probably say, well, I think an engineer is better. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be in terms of melee with a berserker. Well, it is. But if you was to say, what's its build? And I'll just open up the skill screen here, and the stat screen. No one knows. No one knows what's the best build in Torchlight 2. It's yet to be discovered. I mean, you could put 1 point here, and it was, you know, it might have stun on it, for example, and that's all you need. Or you might do what I've done, maxed it out. You got your passives. This screen here is so much more simpler than Diablo. In Diablo, I got really confused. I didn't know you could pick a power and then choose a different runic for it. Just go through the loading screen. So as I said, you know, the loading screens are really quick. There we go, a few seconds, done. I don't think it's got much to do with the high-endness of my computer either. I can't remember what I was talking about now. Oh yes, the skill screen for Diablo. Let's just get some health up a minute. Is really, I found it confusing, to be honest with you. Just do that, I'm not bothered. I found it really confusing. Sorry, I died there because I'm not concentrating. I found it really confusing, and it took me a long time to actually get to grips with it. Whereas in this, I picked it up straight away, no problem. Bish bash bosh, Bob's your uncle. Well, he probably isn't, but he's probably a pedophile anyway. So in this game, like I said, I just find it more fun. But in terms of meleeing enemies, I would say Diablo excels at that. It really does. You hit something, you feel it. You can feel the bones crack. You can feel the ground shake. You can feel the children running, you know, away. Kill all these mobs. I mean, look at this. It's brutal. It's colourful. You can't see what the hell's going on. It's fantastic. I don't know what I'm hitting, but I can certainly feel it through my mouth, sort of thing. It's not bad. Diablo, like I said, you have to rely on the marketplace. If you want decent stuff, you have to buy stuff from there. Like I said, I had so much like money finding attributes. I actually had hardly any money, something I'd never understood. So using the marketplace wasn't the best place to go for me, and I still couldn't find anything in game. It really did suck. My playthrough as a barbarian Diablo was awful. I didn't understand it. I think Diablo 2 was much better in terms of playing as a barbarian. It turns out it's one of the hardest characters to play, people have said. Is this a secret? Is it a secret? It looks kind of weird and odd. No, okay. I mean, this game's just great. The boss battles aren't as good. In fact, Torchlight 1 has better boss battles. It has video to the bosses. You know, it has like a little introduction, and it's great. You sort of fear it for a little while. Now, Diablo has a lot better storyline than Torchlight. It has a lot better boss battles than Torchlight. But you can't really farm all that much in Diablo. You could, you can. There's not a lot of places to visit, whereas in Torchlight, the maps are, like I said, you get different ones every time you enter it. So it's always a different experience. It's never the same place, it's never the same thing, which can get repetitive and boring, especially if you are farming. And this is brilliant. You get two new things in this that you don't get in Diablo, and that's fishing. You can actually sit there and fish for a bit, get some fish, use it on your pet, which is with you from the start of the game. Where is my pet? It's over there somewhere on the map. Clyde. That's a standard name I've named him. You can name your pet. You get a choice of different pets start of the game, which I think is awesome. You can give your pet charms and things. Again, awesome. You can tell him to go sell stuff for you, go back to town so that you don't have to. And you can also tell him to buy potions and scrolls and all sorts of cool stuff. But if you do use a fish on your pet, it will turn into one of these things and have different strengths and weaknesses. Personally, I don't use it. My pet's good as it is. You can set him to aggressive, defensive, or passive, which I think is useful. I've got mine on aggressive because, like I said, he hasn't died since I played this. Pretty good pet. It's a little ferret I've got. I think the sounds, story, graphics are way better in Diablo, but in terms of fun, I can't stress it, and just niceness, and you know, it's just good. The character build in this I find a lot better than Diablo. Diablo is too balanced. It tries to equalize itself far too much. Your character and your friend's character won't be all too different. You know, it just wouldn't. You have to rely on your weapons rather than your actual stats, which I thought was crap. And this, it's classic. It's like the typical Diablo 2 style. You've got numbers 1 to 10 down here. In Diablo, you've got 1 to 4. Not so great, but it is good if you're new to the thing and you're not so used to pushing 10 keys. But you know, your character's progression, it's all here. Very simple again. It's either plus or it's a minus. You know, you get 5 points to spend every time you level up, which I think is decent because you've always got. You could go 2 there, 2 there. Oh crap! I've got 1 over. So you can wait 2 levels, rank up 2 levels, and you can put 5 there, 5 there, and have 2 left for these 2 down here. And it all works out in the end, so it's pretty good. Alright, where am I supposed to go? In Diablo, I tend to find the game is a lot longer, generally, and boring. Actually, quite boring. Oh man, the maps in these, they are humongous. Not as big as Diablo, but there is a lot to explore, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of side quests. If you've ever played Titan Quest, it's like that. There's a lot of side quests in between here and there. You will find a chest that you are not able to open unless you find the key. I literally run around hitting urn to urn, rock to rock, smashing enemy to enemy until I find that key, and I always get decent stuff out of that chest. In Diablo, every chest, I ain't making this up, people, every chest was a disappointment. I actually stopped opening chests after like near the end of the game. I just gave up. Every chest was a disappointment. You're expecting high-end stuff, you're expecting loot, you're expecting legendaries, regardless of, like, I mean, you put on all the magic find you want. It was not there. The stuff, the loot was just awful. It was rubbish. I mean, in this, I get all sorts. You can really feel the loot. The crits in Diablo are a lot more powerful, I think, a lot better depending on how you do your character. But like I said, this game's just fun. It's just fun. My current Berserker, I've made him so he's definitely a melee class. You know, you get more money in this game a lot easier than Diablo. Diablo, you sort of have to sell everything on the market, which means logging out the game, going back in, forget it. You know, going into the market, selling it there. I hardly understood it, and when I did, I wasn't doing great on it. I'm not a businessman. I just wanted to play a video game. I wanted to find stuff in the game, and I wanted to use it in the game. I didn't want to go to a market, having to buy it, and then think, oh wait, I made a mistake. Do you know what I mean? So, get Torchlight 2 is what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong, Diablo 3 is a fantastic game for all the right reasons. But in terms of just general fun, and its loot, I think it's a disappointment. And if you're like me and you just want to play a game for fun and you want to get the best out of everything, then this is the game for you. It's a fantastic game, I mean, why not? So I think the powers are great, the skills are great. Ah, wrong way. It's fairly balanced. I mean, my friend said to me, oh, you complete the game around level 51. I actually turned level 51 as I completed the game. It's good like that. If you re-enter places, everything's dead. It won't come back. If I leave this place and come back again, it won't be there. But because this is map works, obviously I'll have different maps, etc. So you're probably thinking, well, that's, you know, rubbish. You know, I can't go back. I can't kill stuff, get more stuff. You can, just at the end of the game, which is not the best thing. I understand. So that is a negative on Torchlight, but I actually prefer it because there are times where I have to rerun through places. Not often. I have to rerun through it, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, you know, I've got to fight everything all over again to get through it. Not the case in this. Not the case at all. Okay, so kill these. The quests I actually find in Torchlight, oh, look, in Torchlight 2 are simple. They're not too great. They're alright, I suppose. And in Diablo, oh man, you find yourself darting back and forth unless you really know how to play. You find yourself going back and forth, back and forth. Now, what I love about Torchlight 2 is I can accept every quest in the region, and there will be a star to say this is my primary quest, and then there will be other stars to say these are my side quests, and this is where I have to go. So you're never lost. You never not know where to go or what to do next. You just simply complete all the other stars and then go to your last star, which it should be in gold, and then you would know that, you know, you can move on, knowing that you've done every quest in the region. So it's pretty good. The secrets in this, though, honestly, there'll be like a random ledge. You'll be stood there. I've done it by accident. Pushed them on the wall. Let's get out of here a minute. Let's get some mana. Get some of this punch and stuff. Get some of that battle standard. See, my archers have done it all. They're pretty powerful. So if you are like, you know, you got rubbish build, just allow your archers to hit the fight for you, and you know. Anyway, the secrets, you could be stood there next to an empty ledge like this, for example, and then next thing you know, some floor starts growing towards the ledge, some vines, and you walk across it, and it's a secret, and it's not on the map. And I think that's brilliant in this game. It's fantastic. I mean, I've gone through some levels over and over, and then, you know, I'm like, wow, there's a secret here. How many times have I walked past that? It's so deceiving. Some of them are in your face, honestly, but you don't see it. It's the beauty of it all. You've got the typical slime monsters there. We find them in a lot of games, such as Final Fantasy 1, etc. I'm having a mana problem with this character build, to be honest with you. In Diablo I had everything. Everything was a problem. No, it's a good game. I do recommend it, but if you're up for that hardcore, long sort of game, great graphics, great story play kind of game, go for Diablo. But if you just want fun, simple, easy, quick, nice, colourful, bright, and lots of loot, lots of good stuff, go for Torchlight. Alright. Loading screen here. So this will be a boss battle. Small boss. Well, when I say small, I lied. Whoa! Gonna die. I was trying to get my buffs and then I wasn't watching what I was doing. Alright. Buff number 1. Buff number 2. Get some mana. Let's do this. Oh, run away. These guns rip me to shreds. I don't like them. They're not... They have no... I mean, I've got all this element armor. Great. But these guns, they're not element. That's the problem with them. Oh, man. Way too many for me there. Alright. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Alright, so this is a fun boss. Mind you, I have done some fun bosses in this game, but they're nothing compared to Diablo 2. They are more fun. You know, this guy, I'm just sitting in, I can hit him all day if I wanted to. But if he really hurts me, then I can sort of like play it a bit better. I'm sure my gameplay will change the more difficulty I play it, you know, in the game. Right? Let's kill him in style. Let's get some zombies on them. They explode. Run, my zombies, run! Run, my zombies. Go on, explode on him. Go on, go on. Yes. There you go. Killed him. Okay, so not the best of loot there, to be honest with you. I usually get like a screen full of just items and 3 rares at least. Can't say the same for Diablo. I got like probably 1 rare every, I don't know, 4 hours of playing the game. I put more hours into that than this, and I got less out of it, to be honest with you. I love both games. I still play them both. I think they're both fantastic in their irrespective way. But I definitely prefer Torchlight 2. I'm not a fan of both games really. Torchlight 2 because it's just more fun. Generally, it's just more fun. But Diablo is definitely more satisfying in terms of thumping things into the ground. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. All the best. Ooh, Spellfrost. All the best. Don't forget to comment and subscribe if you want more videos. Thanks for watching. See you soon.